Hi, today I'm going to give you a before garden and yard tour. A lot of you know that I've recently made a big life move, moved across country from Ohio to the desert, and I'm going to be gardening in a completely different way out here. And I'm going to, just getting ready to start get rolling, and I wanted to show you what it looks like now before I get started. So I'm going to give you a tour, and then at the end I'll show you our view out the back door. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I'm standing out the very back, almost the back of my property. This is the back of our house right here. That's the garage right there. And you'll see it's very different than what you're used to seeing all my videos. I got 170 some videos all in trees and woods. And look it is so different. We have 2 trees and we'll share that one. So let me give you a quick overview and then we'll walk up and look close. This is the very back edge of the property. It's like a gully down there, a dry riverbed. And it's all fenced. It's kind of horse fencing everywhere, a lot of horses around here. So that's the back of the property, right there. And then what's beautiful is this property already had raised beds, and that's what we're going to go look at in a minute. I'm going to show you, I have 3 different areas that I think I'm going to be gardening, and I'll show you each of those. So I used to live in California many years ago in San Francisco, and one of my favorite flowers is the bougainvillea vine. And these are not on my property, but the woman next door put them in. Oh, I better get my hand up there. They're just exquisite. The video just doesn't even do them justice, but they're all the way up lining around the house there. So those are beautiful. Very little growing here. Hope you don't get dizzy from me walking. Just bone dry. All the grass has been taken out. Most people don't have lawns. A few do, but it's just so expensive to pay for water here. You just conserve by the drop. I found one plant I think someone threw out down the back of the yard, and I looked it up, it's an agave. I thought it was a cactus, but it's a beautiful agave plant. And then it's had babies. See all these babies? I'm gonna move them up, take all these little babies out and move them up to the front of my yard. So here are the gorgeous raised beds. This was one of the selling features. We are renting this house. The move was such a big move. We tried to buy and just didn't find the house we wanted, so we thought we'd live in a rental for a year, and be darned if they don't have these gorgeous beds. Now, I've been a container gardener forever, and I've never had raised beds like this. I've had fabric raised beds, but not real raised beds. So I'm going to dive into these. I've already started, and I'll show you some of my plants up there I already have in. The first week I had to get something in the ground. So there's an old drip irrigation system here, and I don't know anything about them, and I don't even know if they work. But she said 2 tenants ago they were really big organic gardeners and that they put these in. And my landlord thinks they still work. So this is going to be what I'm going to have to learn. And all the soil has dropped way down. I'm going to have to top them off. But there were empty bags around and it was organic. So it looks like they were conscious and didn't put spray in here. Here's another one. There are 11 beds. So you'll see they look like probably 4 by 8 all the way over there. And then some of them have these PVC towers, which probably are for cucumbers to grow up. Some of them still have some string and some it's, really worn down. So this drip irrigation, if you know anything about drip irrigation, drop down in the bottom and give me a clue. Is it worth it? Is it safe? My thought is, a lot of these rubber and plastics have, substances in them that aren't safe for our bodies. So if the water's sitting in those rubber tubing and then it goes into our vegetable and then into our body, I don't know. I'm not convinced yet that they're totally safe, but they may be, and I'm going to investigate it. Right now I'm just hand watering. I finally got my drink safe garden hose this week in the mail, so I've just been hand watering there. So all these pipes, they just go up to a spigot right here on the hill, and it looks like the guy that was here before just took, he has all these different hoses that go out there. So it looks like he just puts one hose in. Sorry, I keep putting my hand out there. I'm gonna stop pointing so I don't lose the focus. Puts one in, drip irrigates it, puts another one in. So it looks like a mess. There's just tubes everywhere, hoses everywhere, pipes everywhere. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but it looks like a fun project. So let's show you. I want to see, probably nobody knows this, but does anybody know what this is? It might have even been a fig. Look at that right there, dried up. I can't tell to see what this was. So I'm trying to revive certain plants. Others, obviously this one's dead. But here's what I've put in so far. Lettuce. I went to Home Depot, yes, the big box store, and I bought organic Bonnie plants, which is not my favorite. Obviously, I grow all my own seedlings. with the winter sowing method, and I am going to still be winter sowing, but I had to be growing something. So they've already doubled in size in like a week and a half, or 2 weeks I've had them, I guess. Some red leaf, some romaine, and then I got 12 pepper plants. They're already budding and flowering. And I've got a bunch of red peppers and white, brown, all different kind of, oh, they need watered terribly. Oh, see, I'm gonna have to get shade cloth. I just walked down here. I've watered them once a day, but I haven't watered them yet. And some of them are already looking like they're getting sunburned. Oh no. Oh no. I've got to get to work on these. So anyway, brought down some of my tomato cages, but these are my raised beds. Could not be happier. There are a couple fruit trees here. This one I've been told was a pomegranate, and there was one dead pomegranate on it. I'm trying to save it. Don't know if I can, but I've been pruning half of it. You see, I pruned this half, took all the dead off, and this one still got it. And I water it every day, and I've got one little baby coming up. I am pretty darn sure that's the same leaf, and that's coming from the root system. So I may have an auxiliary pomegranate. And then over here I have 2 fruit trees. I can't remember if it's jackfruit or dragon fruit. I don't know either one of them. Does anybody knows your dragon fruit or jackfruit? I just haven't had time to look it up. That's what that is, and I got one on the other side. And then some trees. Everything, I have no idea what they are. I would love if someone told me what this tree is here, right here. See this gorgeous little pink berry? Obviously they're not edible. I'm assuming they're not. I kind of want to know what everything is, so if I'm composting the leaves, I'm not poisoning myself by having poison leaves. I doubt they are, but so these little shade trees are extremely coveted to have any shade at all. But I got palm trees everywhere on other people's properties. A nice brick separation wall there. And then we'll get to my my next growing area. So I put this table up, and I've been watching the sun patterns before I start putting things on it. I wanted it to have mostly shade. There's my hand again. Mostly shade for my growing tubs and lettuce. So that's going to be my second growing area. I've got about 4 more tables that I'm going to put out under the tree. I may put one under that tree, but there's not enough shade. So unfortunately, it's going to get early shade and late sun, which is the opposite of what I want. But anyway, I'm going to play around, but I think that's where that table's going to go. So because you do need shade out here for your greens. And you can see even my hardy pepper plant is failing in the sun. So now we'll go to the next growing area. Oh, look at this, gopher holes everywhere. Or moles or voles, but they're so big I think they're gophers. So I keep stepping on them. It's not doing any good. And we won't use poison, of course, for our dogs. So that gate goes out to the front, and I'll be able to have the chip drop people bring wood chips in with a big truck there. So I just wanted to give you a good scan before I go to our last growing area of how big the property is. It's an acre, but when there are no trees on it, it sure seems huge. I could grow enough to feed a village on this property. See, and there's the walkway down to the beds. Now here is my patio where I had the movers drop a lot of my gardening stuff. I have one bay in my garage that's filled with gardening stuff, but I'll do a whole nother video with all my gear so you know what I've got, what I brought, and what I use in my growing area. I don't know what this plant is either. Okay, I know you are going to know this, some of you. What is that plant? I don't know my flowers at all. It'd be nice to know what it is because it's kind of a beast. I'm going to prune it. So here's my back patio. Sunny as can be. I've got my picnic table here that I put my plants on, and I've got a whole bunch of plants, more vegetables that I'm putting in right here, and just all my gear. I won't go through all that now, but it's really sunny, so I got an umbrella just because I can't even sit out here. It's so hot. People have been so nice. I've gotten 2 neighbors that have given me cuttings and plants of succulents, which is going to be my new passion. I'll show you in another video. And go down below. You know, I got this whole thing about vegetable growing, and that's what I've been about for 5 years, but I can see I'm going to have some new passions out here. Are you interested in my channel in seeing, learning about succulents, learning about fruit trees, learning about cacti, and, you know, different kind of things like that? So let me know. I found all my jugs just this week. Those are my milk jugs for my winter sowing, and I found them in my packing in the garage. So I've got all the jugs I need, and I am ready to get started on my winter sowing. So this is going to be a big growing area for me. I'm going to have a lot of plants up here with my growing tubs. Remember my growing tubs? My famous growing tubs? I've got about 8 of them there, and I've got another 12 of them. They're 2 by 3 feet, 10 inches deep. Over there I've got a whole bunch more. So let's give you the final view. Okay, this is the final view out my back door. I'm standing under the porch. And it's hard to see. You see all the palm trees. And these are, people call them mountains, but they're just foothills back down in here. But it's gorgeous. Sunsets are beautiful. It's just such a different feeling to be outside, out of the woods and into something open and spacious like this. But I'm loving it. I'm loving learning. I've had some ups and downs already. Lost a couple plants and, you know, leaks in my water system, even where I had to plug my hose in, and, you know, kind of ups and downs trying to get used to the new terrain and the new growing environment, but I'm loving it. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know if you're interested in following me on this journey of learning to grow with conserving water in the hot heat, in the desert. And do you want to see about things about succulents and fruit trees and figs and citrus and all the different kind of things outside of what I've done with winter sowing and cold weather, snowy gardening? So don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. It lets me know I'm on track with you and it's showing you things you like. And subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Sending you much love from my garden to yours. Bye-bye.